A very good evening to you and welcome to Breaking Today. My name is Frederick Muitiriri. My sign language interpreter tonight is Teresia Washira, and these are the highlights. DP William RUTO has accused the ODM leader RAILA Odinga for the in-house disputes facing the Jubilee party. Some members of parliament are urging their colleagues in the National Assembly to review tax bill that will see reduction of fuel cost. And the University of Nairobi has defended its decision to increase fees and accommodation charges during their 65th graduation ceremony. Welcome to the broadcast. We are live on our YouTube channel, that is Switch TV News. Now, we start off with Deputy President, where he has said that, and he has accused ODM leader RAILA Odinga for the in-house disputes facing the Jubilee party. According to RUTO, since the handshake between President Uhuru Kenyatta and RAILA Odinga, Jubilee lost control of its house, and RAILA should be accused of causing the division in the party. Speaking in KITUI County, where he convened a women and youth empowerment forum, DP RUTO has urged the residents to align with leaders focused on uniting the country and whose plan on empowering the youth and women. Daniel Kariuki reports.
Deputy President William RUTO has taken campaigns for his bottom-up economic model to KITUI in a bid to seek backing from the area residents for the upcoming neck-and-neck race for the country's top seat come August 2022 election.
Hii uchumi ya hapa mbele tunataka iwe ya kuanzia chini. Pale mahali mtu jobless hako, tuanze na huyo jobless tumtafutie kazi. Tunataka tuwaambie, leteni sera yenu, kujeni mtuambie. Hii mkibadilisha hii katiba, mugawane mamlaka na vyeo, itasaidia mama mboga kwa njia gani?
The DP taking on the ODM leader RAILA Odinga head-on, accusing him of being the root cause of troubles befalling the Jubilee party and the whole government administration.
Wanakuja wanatuambia hiyo kazi ya watu wadogo haina maana. Ngojeni kwanza, simamisheni hiyo. Ngojeni kwanza tuende tubadilishe katiba, ipatikane cheo ya prime minister, ipatikane president, imperial president.
Mwingine ambao wanaota ndoto ya kuunda muungano wa vyama vyao ili waingie ndani wapate madaraka.
Ukipigia mtu mwingine kura ya urais, unapigia mtu ambaye atakaa na pesa juu ndio iteremuke ikupate.
Hata tukipenda wale viongozi wengine, sisi tunataka kiongozi anayetujali sisi kama wananchi wa kawaida.
DP met over 10,000 women drawn from 170 different groups from different KITUI constituencies at the Kenya Forestry Research Institute in a bid to empower the women from the region. RUTO's visit to KITUI comes barely a week before he makes a similar trip to Makueni on Tuesday to politicize his presidential bid, hoping to get support from the region. Daniel Kariuki for Switch TV News.
Now, the University of Nairobi has defended its decision to increase fees and accommodation charges, stating that the move is meant to help generate revenue. Speaking to this station, UON's Corporate Communication Manager John Orindi has said the accommodation fee was increased in order to improve the state of the university's hostels. He said this during the UON's graduation ceremony that was for the second time done virtually. Flora Limuki with more.
For the second year running, the University of Nairobi has conducted its 65th graduation ceremony virtually. Today, more than 4,000 students graduated. The oldest, a 76-year-old Professor Simeon Lesirma, the former Member of Parliament of Samburu West, who has graduated with Doctor of Philosophy degree in Environmental Governance and Management.
I like education, continuous education is part of life, and I like to improve the lives of the people, who lives around me. And without taking care of the environment in the current situation of global warming, climate change, we face a lot of challenges.
My research was on application of what we know about the structure of the body. And specifically, I was looking at the structure, the form of the hand in relation to how the hand functions. So that was the basis of my my research, which was to apply the knowledge of anatomy to everyday work.
At the same time, in response to the recent fee increment and accommodation charges, John Orindi, the corporate communications head at the university, has revealed that the move is meant to cater for administration costs.
So what we want to do is to give the students the quality service in the rooms. We want to maintain the rooms well. We want good people to do cleaning. We want to buy detergents so that the rooms are well maintained. So we've just introduced those ones to support learning, administrative cost, to support learning. But the fees for tuition fees.
The University of Nairobi is focusing on collaboration with strategic partners to tackle learning challenges brought about by the effects of COVID-19 pandemic and further spur 100% virtual learning transition.
The threads for delivery of teaching and learning in the higher education institutions will continue to shift to more enhanced use of technology.
In efforts to enhance researchers and innovators in the country, Rebecca Hutchinson, the Deputy Vice Chancellor for Research and Enterprise Research at the University of Nairobi, says that the institution is set to host an educational research week.
The outcomes from the research are going to drive policy. So we are trying to connect to ensure that the technologies that come out of the research are also translated into changing the lives, social, economic, and also political lives in our communities.
There's no immediate plan on when normal learning will resume in one of the oldest institutions in Kenya. Today, the University of Nairobi has marked its 65th graduation ceremony, a ceremony that has been unique in its own way since most of the graduates studied virtually and some have actually graduated virtually due to the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. Flora Limuki, Switch TV, Nairobi.
That is Flora. Now, you know where I come from. We do not have Flora. We say Furora. So you'll understand where I'm coming from. My director is laughing at me. Now, for the first time in the history of this country, this year's MASHUJAA Day celebrations will not be held in other counties, as has always been the case except for KIRINYAGA County, which will be the host. Speaking after inspecting ongoing works at Wanguru Stadium, the venue for the event on October 20th, Interior Principal Secretary Dr. Karanja Kibicho has said the facility is almost 80% complete and that the move is aimed at curbing the escalation of COVID-19. KIRINYAGA joins Nakuru, Machakos, Meru, Nyeri, Kakamega, Mombasa, Narok, and Kisii that have previously hosted the national holidays.
Ile stadium iko na capacity, iko COVID, tutakuwa watu 2,000 peke yake juu ya COVID. Sasa tuchaguane vizuri. Ni kina nani watakuja kupresent wengine? Na wale wengine wenye hawatapata nafasi ya kuingia kwa stadium, tukubali kwa unyenyekevu. Tukae nyumbani, tuangalie vile kunaendelea kwa runinga, na wale hawana runinga wasikize kwa redio.
To a sad story, a number of businesses owners are counting their losses. This is after their stalls were demolished without notice earlier this morning. The affected businesses along the Catherine Dereba Road in Mukuru Kwajenga are saying the people conducting the demolition are taking bribes so that they can spare some stalls. The ongoing demolitions are as a result of road expansion roads works going on around the area. They want the displaced people to be relocated to nearby market where they can operate from.
Na hii serikali hakuna hata sijui kama itaita serikali juu ingekuwa ni serikali inagoga hapa tungekuwa tumepewa notice ya kutoka, lakini hakuna mtu amekuja kutuambia ati iko hivi. Hata MP wa huku kansora hakuna umoja hivi.
Wale viongozi tulichagua wako wapi? Hatukupatiwa notice kwa hii barabara. Hakuna kitu tuliambiwa inakuja kufanyika. Tulichaguana kwa roho safi, tukatokea mapema. Saa hii viongozi wetu akina Mawadhe Kasino mko wapi?
This is something that to me it's a breakthrough. To me it's a breakthrough. Anybody who know Catherine Dereba Road from record, you will agree with me that we have achieved. Hawa ambao wamekuwa displaced, nina uhakika kwamba kuna soko, kuna mahali pale ambayo ilikuwa imetengewa soko na ikagarabiwa.
The 30-day fight against illicit brews and counterfeit goods continues to gain momentum in the country. Today, 800 liters of brew have been destroyed in Migori County and 16 people have been arrested. Officials say this is only a start in the war against illegal products, and similar operations are expected to continue in various parts of the country. Sheila Ngetich reports.
The destroying of brewing pots, pouring of the brews, all a concerted effort in the war against illicit brewing, which according to the Interior Principal Secretary Karanja Kibicho, it has claimed the lives of over 30,000 Kenyans. Today, the fight led to Rongo in Migori County, where 2 brewers were nabbed while hiding at a sugarcane plantation. At least 800 liters of alcohol and chang'aa were destroyed during this raid.
Miwa ingine ilikuwa hapa walikuwa natengenezea na tulikuwa tunanyemelea ili tuangalie mahali wanatengeneza, kumbe walihama wakaenda kwa miwa ingine. Ndio tumepata hizi zingine hizi za leo.
The operation ran early morning by the Migori County Commissioner Mr. Mwangi Meru equally intensified the war against counterfeit goods, with 16 people arrested for the same.
Upon the residents to avoid being caught up in the process, because those people who will be apprehended doing the wrong thing or consuming these concoctions, the wrong hours, and the ones that are not prescribed will be dealt with according to them.
The officials now say that the operation will be recorded on a daily basis to ensure the illegal alcohol and businesses are logged and accounted for. These operations are expected to go on in neighboring counties in the next 30 days. Sheila Ngetich, Switch TV.
And from that story by Sheila, we are now taking a shot. But what is that thing that people are drinking? Really? That looks like some mud somewhere. Okay, short commercial break. We'll be back with more in a short while. Don't go anywhere. We are still live on our YouTube channel, that is Switch TV News. We'll be back in a short while. All right, and my director is telling me it's time for business, so let's do business. All right, youths in the country have been urged to embrace and join technical vocational education and training institutions, that is TVETS, in order to acquire hands-on skills and benefit from various business startups programs. Additionally, with e-learning also becoming a trend in the country, and the education system, a tune of 1 billion shillings, has been pumped into the ICT ministry in collaboration with Google to equip TVETS, including 4 special need TVETS with e-learning assistive devices. Our business reporter Brian Mwenda with more.
The national government, through the State Department of TVETS, has issued a rallying call to the youth in the country to enroll to TVET institutions, not only to gain from hands-on skills, but also benefit from business startup knowledge. The State Department for Vocational and Technical Training Permanent Secretary Dr. Margaret Mokima has added that the youth stand to benefit from a 30,000 grant issued to each student in these institutions.
So this is some of the discussions that we are looking into, including access to microfinancing, because ultimately then after TVET, you are either an employee, because we are equipping you also with entrepreneurial skills, or you are an employer.
Currently, there are 238 TVETs against the 52 institutions in 2013. The rallying call issued to the youth today is that TVETs do not only provide an alternative to education and also skill, but also mentors a business mind. Reporting for Switch TV, my name is Brian Mwenda.
Now, different sectors have been urged to join hands with the tourism sector in order to revive the grappling sector, whose revenue declined by 80% in 2020 compared to 2019. This rallying call comes days before the much anticipated World Tourism Day 2021, set to be marked in Kisumu County on the 27th of this month. Youth in the country have also been urged to come out and showcase their talent ahead and during the celebrations. Our reporter Brian Mwenda again with more.
The animals, the sceneries, the people here, and the art and the way of life. Welcome to Kisumu County. For a long time now, the diversity of this county has stood out from the 46 others, making it the ultimate tourism destination for both local and international tourists. This has informed the selection of this county to host the upcoming World Tourism Day 2021, set to be marked on the 27th of this month. Ojanny is the tourism minister in Kisumu County.
What we want to focus on in Kisumu is about networking and collaboration. So with our stakeholders with us for those 6 hours, lunch is included. Looking fabulous is going to be the theme. We want to make sure that different organizations are talking to different organizations.
With the onset of COVID-19 in the country, the tourism and travel sector became the hardest hit, losing up to 80% in revenue raised in 2019 in the year 2020. According to the minister, what stood out for this county was the strategic use of technology.
Using GIS, map all your properties, map their locations, map all your photographers, your videographers, map banks, hospitals, churches, restaurants. Let everybody be found. So that was the biggest and I think the most powerful reinvention that Kenya took.
To revive this grappling sector, there has been need for a multi-sectoral collaboration, hence informing this year's theme, Tourism for Inclusive Growth.
We're in collaboration with the County Government of Kisumu through the Ministry of Tourism, Arts, Sports and Culture.
Youth have also been urged to come out and showcase their talent in diverse forms of tourism, including fashion tourism, film and art.
Focused on different aspects of tourism. Beach tourism is there, safari tourism is there. We're now talking about fashion tourism.
Switch TV's head of media strategy and content, Simaloi Dajom, has said Switch TV is glad to partner with Kisumu County as the country waits with bated breath this Monday.
TV is very youth-centric and very youth-focused. As you know, youth make 60% of the Kenyan population. And so it is at the fore of the switch strategy to engage with our youth wherever you are in the country. For those that can join us at Ndere Island in Kisumu, they are most welcome. They will have a good time. All COVID protocols will be observed. And for those that may not be able to join, we will be able to bring the action live to them. So we will be airing the whole event live on Switch TV. And you'll also be able to stream it on the Switch website, www.switchtv.ke.
I beg your apologies. And I was waiting for that story. That is my boss right there, Simaloida Jom. Okay, now we go to another story. I'll be bringing you that story later on. Mavoko Member of Parliament Patrick Makau has urged the National Assembly to repeal Section 13 of Finance Act 2018 that will see reduction of fuel following mounting pressure from Kenyans over the high cost of living. However, according to experts, members of Parliament are to blame for the fuel cost after passing tax bill in 2018 that has affected the fuel prices. Mariam Jahid reports.
The fuel price hike has led to widespread protest from a cross-section of Kenyans. Members of Parliament are now calling for action against the Energy, Petroleum and Regulatory Authority and the Ministry of Energy, which surprisingly only reviews the prices while the operations are domiciled in the Petroleum and Mining Ministry. According to governance expert Kelvin Osido, the 12th Parliament is performing poorly in terms of passing laws without factoring in the impact it will have on the common mwananchi.
Raise taxes, raise revenue. You raise revenue to fill a gap. So somewhere there is a deficit. Somewhere the administration is running a system where for this year and previous years, the deficits are large, so they are trying to cover that.
At the same time, Mavoko Member of Parliament Patrick Makau has faulted his colleagues for imposing VAT on petroleum products. But are the National Assembly members ready to take the blame?
We have to meet this Gorofa roads we are talking about, maybe some, may just be some, but maybe others. Debt payment be other, or just a current imbalance between in expenditures and revenues for this financial year. It's all of the above.
Indeed, where fuel prices rise, it is expected that the cost of energy, transportation, consumer goods and services will similarly experience an uptick. But the question remains, how soon will Wanjiku see the fuel prices reviewed? Mariam Jahid, Switch TV, Nairobi.
Now, many thanks for staying with us this Friday. It's the weekend and it's all about sports. Now, to start us off, the Kenya Premier League is scheduled to kick off tomorrow with big lads still in check. Even though the teams are in doubt over a new season without a sponsor, Tusker will be up against AFC Leopards, and of course Gor Mahia will be up against KCB, which is scheduled to be the big match tomorrow. Other matches include Posta Rangers versus Kariobangi Sharks, and of course Wazito will take on newly promoted side Talanta FC. Now shifting our gears to matters rugby, because after the Vancouver Sevens, now comes the Edmond Sevens, where Team Kenya MASHUJAA is up against Chile, and of course Team Kenya will also be up against the USA, and it will lock horns